Good evening and welcome to In Focus. I'm Maggie McCauley here with Liz Farrell. Liz, it's great to see you again.
It's great to see you too, Maggie. Did you get a chance to sneak a peek of Vin Diesel when he was here filming?
Sadly, no, I missed him, but there is another movie upcoming in Pittsburgh and it stars Will Smith, so I'm hoping to catch a glimpse of him while he's here.
That's awesome. I'm so excited that Pittsburgh's becoming more of a spot for movie sets, and I'm so excited to see what the future has in store for Pittsburgh.
We have so much talent in our school, cinema-wise, and I'm so excited to meet with the guests that we have here in the studio today.
Today we have director Marley Schneider, producer Camelia Montoy, and editor Mikey Barger here to talk about their upcoming film documentary entitled The Out Project.
And not only do you get an exclusive interview with all three of these key cast members, but we're also going to show the trailer for the upcoming documentary and talk about how it's going to be made possible right here on In Focus.
Let's bring out our guests and see what this film is all about. Hey guys, how's it going? We're very excited to have you guys on the show today.
So are we.
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah.
Well, just to start out, can you tell us a little bit about your cinema career so far?
Yeah, so Mikey and I are seniors. We're going to graduate in spring 2014, and I'm a directing concentration. I've mostly done narrative work. This is my first, well, actually, it'll be my second documentary short, so.
Okay, I have a concentration in editing. Like she said, I'm a senior here, and I also dabble in production design. I like narratives and art house. So.
And I graduated in 2013 from Point Park, and I'm primarily a photojournalist and documentary photographer, but I shoot stills on film sets as well, so I got into filming that way.
That's so cool. What about The Out Project? Can you give us a brief description of the documentary?
Yeah, so the documentary will be following the progress of LGBTQ rights through the perspectives of different subjects. We're still on the lookout for, I know you guys saw our promo video, but we're still on the lookout to find the subjects we're going to follow in the actual documentary, whether that be 1 or 3 people. We're hoping to find someone who's, about to go through their coming out process and to their family and friends and kind of follow them and help them through that process.
Right.
Where did you get inspiration for this idea?
I came to Jess about it, our cinematographer, over the summer. She couldn't be here tonight. But, after the Pittsburgh Pride incident with the policeman beating up that girl, and I started talking to a lot of my friends in the LGBTQ community, and a lot of them had similar stories to that. And so just after hearing, I had a friend who I worked with, and she said she was walking through a park one day, and she just very masculine, and these guys jumped her, and then once they realized she was a woman, she called the cops, and the cops showed up and was just like, oh, well, I would have done the same thing, and sort of had no remorse. So I kind of want to, reveal that, on camera. So that's where it came from.
How does the LGBTQ community relate to you guys?
Well, I went to Cam. She's my partner, and I kind of roped her into producing because my producer backed out last minute over the summer. And I was like, I can take care of the creative stuff. You're good with money, so just if you can take care of that and get that off my back, then we'll be good to go.
Right.
So.
Well, it sounds like this is a topic that's really close to heart, so how did you react to watching and hearing everyone's stories?
Yeah, well, when we shot the promo video, a lot of stories hit close to home. A lot of them were my friends, so it was interesting because I've never talked to them in depth, about their own personal experiences. So kind of hearing it on camera for the first time was really interesting. And then to watch those interviews back and transcribe them and just really, you get to know these people more than you thought you already knew them. So.
Are you going to include anything about your own experiences in the documentary?
I think I've thought about it. I don't really like being on camera, so only if it's necessary to tell the story, but I don't want it to be about us. I want it to be about, the subjects involved.
Right.
How did you find people to interview for this?
I just sent out, social media helped a lot. Posted some things on Reddit and Craigslist, and I really just reached out to a lot of people who I knew who would be comfortable on camera, and it helps when they know you and they're comfortable talking to you on camera. Like, that's basically in the interview I told them, I was like, this is just a conversation with you and me. You know, it's not, don't worry about the cameras, don't worry about everyone else in the room.
Right.
So you didn't know them before?
Some of them I did. Some of them were friends. I've made friends through that, shooting that promo video. Some people that came out for it that I hadn't, no pun intended, came out for it, and I hadn't met before, no.
So was it hard to get them to open up about something?
No, surprisingly, everyone was really open. We got a lot of good stuff. Yeah, I think overall it went really well. I think, you know, Mikey agrees with going through the editing process and really breaking it down and trying to find a flow of, you know, because there was a lot of like repetitiveness as far as like, you know, just keywords that people, I would ask the same questions and, you know, they'd be in that room alone and it was just interesting to hear a lot of the same reactions to the questions.
Right.
Well, now we're going to take a look at the trailer for the Out Project right here on In Focus.
I'm Anna Shaw, 22, and I'm a lesbian.
Joe Buckle, I'm 21 and I'm gay.
Sam Parente, I'm 25 and I identify as a queer woman.
I'm Chris Frank, I'm 19, I'm bisexual.
So my name is Caden Fratangelo, I'm 22 years old, and I identify as a transgender male.
I think I've always known, and I think my parents especially always knew.
Kindergarten, yeah, I like used to chase girls around and we would like kiss behind the swing set.
Only a few of my family members know.
My family, it took them a while.
And then I said, you know, Dad, is it possible that God puts people in the wrong bodies? Is this possible? Have you ever heard of this? And he kind of looked at me and said, no, God doesn't make mistakes.
So girl, this is this. And I just sort of like told her like mid-sentence, and all she was like, okay.
Turns your world upside down.
And I went upstairs and was talking to my mom, and I knew something wasn't right. It just clicked.
She just came downstairs kind of screaming and pretty irrational, and I was hysterical. I think that's the first time I had a panic attack.
He did not think that bisexuality exists.
Looked at me and he's like, have you ever thought about killing yourself? And then I started crying, and he hugged me and he said, I love you, you know, I'll always love you, you're always gonna be my kid.
We'll never accept that. You'll never be able to, you know, live that lifestyle and have a relationship with us.
He threw a tomato at me and said, go to hell, fag.
I'm still the same person, and just because, you know, I love a person for who they are and, you know, I see myself with a woman, it doesn't mean I'm a different person.
She was upset that entire summer. I went couch surfing. I didn't come home. Just because every time I did, I walked into a room, she would just start bawling.
I'm not going to sacrifice my own personal happiness for other people to be pleased with what I am.
And when I finally came out, it was like this big weight was just lifted off.
The steps that I have made, it's like, why didn't I like do that sooner?
I'm not something to be fixed.
Can you describe your coming out process in one word?
Terrifying?
Roller coaster.
Exhilarating is the first word that comes to mind.
Shocked because a lot of people were supposed to be my friends.
It made me feel lighter.
Disappointing. Disappointing.
It's a pretty radical thing when a guy stands up in front of the whole world and tells another man, I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you, when the rest of the world is saying, sit down and be quiet.
You don't have to be in a box. You can really kind of figure out who you are and what you're comfortable with.
We all are humans, and that's what it comes down to. And
I am who I am, and that's up to you.
That's how it is.
Looks like it's going to be a really great documentary, and I'm so excited to hear more of their stories. When can we expect to see the whole thing?
It'll be released in May 2015. So there will be a screening here, and then we're hoping to shop it to festivals because it's our senior thesis film. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So in order to achieve the finished product at the end, you of course need some funding. So do you want to tell our viewers how they can get involved with donating?
Definitely. Do you want to tell them about our happy hour fundraiser next week?
Yeah, if you're over 21 on November 5th, so it'll be, I guess, next Wednesday.
Yeah.
We're at the week mark now.
Oh, wow.
At Grit and Grace Restaurant, which is at 535 Liberty Avenue, so it's like just a couple of blocks away. We're having an extended happy hour, so it's going to be from 4 to 7. And there's going to be punches, and there's going to be specialty cocktails, and some of them is going to be 100% proceeds go to us. And then there's going to be a couple appetizers like dim
Yeah,
sum
so you don't
and
have to be
steamed
21.
buns.
You
Yeah,
can
so
come
even
for
if you're
food.
not 21, you can come and you can eat appetizers and hang out with us and just learn about the project and everything
Yeah.
like that. So.
We also have an Indiegogo link, which you can find on our website, outprojectfilm.com. You can donate on there. We have different packages and stuff like perks we're going to offer our funders back in return. So.
Is there any entry charge for the Grit and Grace?
Absolutely
Nope, just show
not.
up.
Just come.
Yep. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, what is the main message that you want to get across to all of your viewers through the documentary?
I mean, we just feel like collectively as a crew that Pittsburgh hasn't really done anything, LGBTQ related in the media. So, like I said, after Pride and everything, I just felt really strongly about revealing some of this stuff. And I thought we would just go ahead and do it with, everything that's happening in the media with celebrities coming out and, athletes. So thought it'd be a good time to do that locally.
People want to see their friends too, like people our age, and we want to educate others with that. And in Pittsburgh, there isn't a whole lot being done visually, so if we can start that off, then why not?
Right. Is there anything else you want your audience to know about the movie?
I think an important thing is one of the main messages of the movie is that we're all humans, and then these are humans like going through something that's very vulnerable and very terrifying that can have any outcome. And you can be either like accepting or maybe you have to like couch surf or so, but like it's it's someone going through like a difficult time, and then just to help and educate others on that process is the goal of the documentary as a whole.
Definitely.
That's awesome. Now, I know that you have already graduated, but I'm sure you've been asked this many times, but what are your plans for after graduation?
We were just talking about that on the way over. Do you want to start?
I don't know what she asked me. She was like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was like, "Are you asking me this seriously?"
Of course.
And my answer to her was, "I just want to be a difference maker." I shoot on film sets here, but I often travel like internationally to photograph with groups and things like that, and just narrate what they're doing to help others. And I'm also starting to do that in Pittsburgh with local charities and things like that. So I really just want to. I think when you have a visual gift, you have to use it, and that's what I'm trying to do. So when I'm a big kid, I want to be a difference maker somewhere, somehow.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, if I could just, make a living in the film industry doing what I love, I've for a long time wanted to do more narrative work because that's what we're taught heavily at Point Park in the cinema program. But like now that I've gotten more into documentary, I would love to travel and do more doc work. I actually have a professor who traveled with National Geographic for 4 years working for them shooting documentaries, and I'm like, I want your life. Like that sounds so much fun. So that would be awesome.
I don't know. I love helping people with films, help creating stories, help with like rhythm, help with just like anything on set. So I guess wherever the wind takes me, I guess, which is really like a bad plan, but I just like anyone in need of help, I wanna be there because I wanna share as much art as I can in the world, and that's the most important to me.
That's awesome. Very spontaneous of you.
Yeah, oh yeah,
We're all hoping for the best for you guys.
Thank you.
And after the documentary is finished, we would love to have you guys back on the show so we can reveal that to all of our viewers.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, let's do it.
For sure.
Don't forget to check out the Out Project's Indiegogo campaign and their event at Grits and Grace November 5th at 4 p.m.
Join us next week on In Focus to hear from more Point Park cinema students.